I still believe in the LA Rams. I genuinely do. Call me crazy. Call me someone that believes that history repeats itself way more than it probably does. It might just be me wanting a pattern to happen. As human nature, that is how we think most of the time. As we think of patterns, we think of things that consistently happen over and over, and that is probably why I'm insane. This past week, I have gotten destroyed on takes. Absolutely manhandled when it comes to football takes and basketball takes. I haven't posted many of my basketball takes, but football, I've been manhandled. I mean, I hype up Jalen Hurts, he throws 3 picks. The only one that I've gotten right when it comes to players specifically has been Jonathan Taylor, who the next week went for 5 touchdowns. And then Jalen Hurts, even though Daniel Jones didn't look great, Jalen Hurts didn't look fantastic, right? My college football playoff video, I got manhandled in. Absolutely destroyed. 2 of the teams on that list are probably not going to be in the... Or no, for sure aren't going to make the college football playoff. And then on my TikTok, I've gotten destroyed as well. It's been terrible, but it's time to right my wrongs. And I think this is going to be... I don't even think this is going to be a steamer, because I think I'm right. This is the only one where I'm getting a little confident on. I still believe in the LA Rams. I still think they can make the Super Bowl. I still think they can win. As crazy as that might sound. Because I think they're very similar to this past Super Bowl champs in the Buccaneers. And say what you want about the Buccaneers. Say that their roster isn't as good as people think. Say that they got really lucky in the playoffs. Say that they haven't done well. And say that they are worse than what their record says. And say what everyone, say the NFC's a buzzsaw. But I remember around this time last year, the Buccaneers came off a loss, back-to-back losses to the Rams and the Chiefs. And they went into their bye week, and then they went on a hot streak. The Rams didn't do that, right? I kind of expected it to happen this year. They just came off a bye and they lost to the Packers. Why would I think that anything's going to change, right? I mean, we can point out the similarities that a new quarterback, bunch of new weapons, an acquired slot receiver, Antonio Brown, OBJ. I think talent-wise they're very similar. I think Antonio Brown's age is what kind of restricts any kind of talent level at cap or whatever. I think they're still very similar when it comes to like route running and things like that. I think OBJ is more explosive right now because of his age. There we go. Finally got that out. Done. All right. I can see the Rams building momentum, and then honestly, when it comes to the Super Bowl, you just need to be the hottest team going into the playoffs, because then you are the most dangerous. And I think they can beat the Packers again if they rematch. I think they could beat the Bucs again if they rematch. I think one of the biggest problems is their run game isn't consistent enough. They haven't had a 100-yard rusher all season. That's a problem. I think they're too reliant on the pass. I think Sean McVay needs to realize that even though Jared Goff restricted them via pass, their play action was so dangerous because they had Todd Gurley. Because they had such a threatening run game and made Jared Goff viable in the pass game, dangerous enough to win or to get to another Super Bowl. And you could say that they're still next year. They still have a chance to build next year, but the Rams are all in this year. You don't trade for Von Miller. You don't trade for Sonny Michel. You don't trade for these guys. You don't trade. You don't get OBJ if you don't want to win right here, right now. You don't trade. 2-3 first-round picks to get Matthew Stafford. You don't do these things just to win in 2 years, 3 years. They wanted to win this year, and I still think they can. Like the Bucs last year, you had the Saints, the number 1 seed, the Cardinals, and at some point, I believe in the Cardinals, but they're going to hit the playoffs and be in territory that most of them have never been in. I think you have Chandler Jones, who played for the Patriots. He knows he's got playoff experience. You got J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins. They have playoff experience to an extent. They haven't ever been to an AFC Championship game, maybe one, but I don't think the Texans ever got past the second round, which crazy. Kyler Murray has not been to the playoffs. You have James Conner, who's been to a couple playoff games. You don't like Cliff Kingsbury, never been to a playoff game. Buda Baker, never been to a playoff. Like, the inexperience is what I think is going to fail the Cardinals, right? So that's one contender down. The Packers, I don't know how they keep winning. And that's why I kind of passed this past game, because it's so tough to beat them in Green Bay. And it was still a relatively close game. The game was lost via, pardon my yawn. The game was lost via Matthew Stafford. And if he can keep his turnovers down, I think he's feeling like he can do anything. And he's forcing throws. And he has a cannon of arm. There's no doubt Matthew Stafford has talent. And he's a flawed quarterback. He's not Tom Brady. When I can't compare those two. I can't. And that's why it's so tough to say that they're on the same trajectory as the Bucks, because they're not on the same level. But what they need is Sony Michel and Darrell Henderson. One of these guys, and it sucks that they don't have Cam Akers. It really does, because honestly, I would still believe they're contenders with Cam Akers if he was at running back. But one of these guys has to step up like Leonard Fournette in the playoffs. We forget the past 2 years of Super Bowl teams, right? One of the things that people doubt on the Bucks and the Chiefs is, well, I mean, they were down in the playoffs multiple times and had to come back. That just seems like a trend that has to been happening, right? That continually happens. But I could see this Rams team having enough firepower to come back. I think they have so many pieces surrounding them that they have to figure it out. And looking ahead at their schedule, we got Jacksonville. That's an easy win. I think their turning point will be at Arizona. That is my hot take. I think that's when things click. I think everything clicks at Arizona. Then Seattle at home. They always play Seattle really good. Seattle is kind of falling apart right now. You capitalize on that. At Minnesota, that's a tough game. At Baltimore, that's a tough game. And versus San Francisco, but you're at home to finish the year. It's not an easy schedule compared to the Bucks last year, who had Minnesota, at the Falcons, at Detroit, and Falcons again. But Jacksonville, you get to restart. That is a almost not a free win, because this year we have clearly seen that not every game is a free win. But it's a game that you can really kind of click the reset button and be like, all right, we got to get things under control. And you got to realize this Buccaneers team going into the playoffs, and why I feel confident in this take. No, I can go back and look through videos. A lot of people were saying this is a first round team or a second round out team. Not a lot of people were still saying the Bucs are a championship team. Not a lot of people were. There's a lot of people were picking the Saints to win that game. There was a lot of people picking the Packers to win that championship game. And if you were to ask me, I think it's going to be Packers Rams NFC Championship. And I think the Packers beat the Bucs on their way there. And if you were to ask me who would be likely other than the Rams to make the Super Bowl, I would say the Packers, because they continually win with less. And they're only going to get better. But there's a voice in my back of the head that is going to remind Aaron Rodgers why he wanted to leave, and it's going to remind us that the Rams have made these additions and they're going to pay off. OBJ has gone from one team that won't throw him the ball in a complex offense to a Sean McVay offense that's very complex. Cooper Kupp is still amazing. They just lost Robert Woods, who I think is a huge loss, but OBJ can fill that role. He has enough talent to fill that role. I think their running game needs to step up. And Matthew Stafford, I believe his talent, and over time, he's still figuring out this offense. You got to think he's been in the Lions for so long. I think about over a decade. He got drafted in 2009. And even though he had a new coach every 3 weeks, it seemed like, he's still getting used to probably one of the more complex offenses in the league. You have Von Miller, who's still getting used to a defense. A star-studded defense. Like, they have so much talent that I can't say that they're out of it and they're pretenders right now. I still believe they can go far. And watch this take be like spoiled eggs, and I am wrong, and they're a first round out, and I'm gonna be so pissed if that's the case, because I still truly believe this team. I think they're gonna. If you want quick predictions, I'm looking at their schedule to the right of me. I think they beat Jacksonville, beat Arizona, beat Seattle. Potentially lose a close one to Minnesota, beat Baltimore, and beat San Francisco. I think they go 5-1 potentially, or what is it? 6 games left. I think 5-1, 4-2. And if they lose to Jacksonville, I should delete this video and I should stop making YouTube videos because clearly I am a curse. But if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I do think the Rams have a chance. It's just a quick video. I just wanted to make a video, NFL video. I'm probably gonna make a recruiting video here in a minute. If you see me wearing the same shirts or same clothes, it's probably because I'm making the videos back to back. And I'm trying to get daily videos and daily things out every single day. But I truly believe that this Rams team has so much talent, and I believe in Sean McVay. I believe Stafford can figure it out. There's just so many new pieces that they're trying to figure out. And this is the part where people start to bail on them, and I'm sticking through, and I still truly believe they can win the Super Bowl this year, and it pains me as a Seahawks fan to say that. See y'all.